What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of our podcast, which still has no name. We'll figure this out soon enough. It was one of those situations where it seemed like it wasn't a big priority, but now as we go on, it seems weird that we don't have one. So I need to buckle down and figure out what we're going to call it. But episode 7 of our podcast. This week, we got a lot to talk about. We have a major thing that has essentially consumed my life in this past week. We'll get into that later, as well as a major story that has taken over the news cycle as well. So couple big ones this week. We're also going to flip-flop the order. Normally I talk a little bit about what's going down in my life and on our streams, and then we kind of get into the news, gaming news of the week. This week we'll do that a little bit differently. So with that, we'll start off with what is the largest news. The only thing I've seen on Twitter all week from everyone would be the GameStop stock, buying of it, the price increase, everything that goes along with it. If you haven't heard about it by now, I would be highly surprised. It's been wild. I don't really know too much about it, or didn't know too much about it. I tried to do some research prior to the podcast to kind of get more of an understanding of what's going on. I'll start off by saying also I own no GameStop stock. I have not bought any or looked into buying any. So I don't really have a dog in the race. But what's happened is pretty interesting for anybody who doesn't know what's been going down. Essentially, and this is with very, very, I'm trying not to speak out of my ass on this, but essentially what has happened is GameStop's stock was valued very low. Apparently, there's something in trading stocks known as short stocks, or the buying of short stocks, or essentially from what I can get of it. And if you're watching this video, feel free to pop in the comments and correct me if I'm wrong, or even just explain it further to me, because I don't really get it. I've tried understanding it several times. Quite hard. Essentially, something that you can do is you can borrow these stocks or buy these stocks, certain stocks, and you're risking that the stocks will go lower in price, and then you're able to buy them back at a lower price. And that's a way that large people with large amounts of money make more money, even more money. And what happened was it kind of backfired because a significantly large group of people, I think originating from Reddit, decided that they wanted to start investing heavily in GameStop. And so GameStop stocks soared this week, which in turn cost a lot of people a lot of money. Well, at least some of the bigger, the hedge funds and the people who were betting on those stocks to go down in price. That being said, there's a lot of people who, because so much of it was being bought up, that people who had GameStop stock, it was soaring to the moon. I think it went up something like something ridiculous, something like 400%. I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the actual numbers, but it skyrocketed the price. And so while that was going on, it seemed like Wall Street was losing their minds and trying to figure out how to handle it. And what happened was on, I believe it was on Thursday, major app, Robinhood, as well as several others, made it so that people could weren't allowed to buy any more of this GameStop stock. Sorry. And obviously, a lot of people were highly upset about that. The fact that they were essentially making it so that people couldn't buy this stock anymore and, fucking with the open market. So, yeah, obviously a lot of outcry. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of legal repercussions from that. I think as of right now, they've reopened it so that you can continue to buy GameStop stock in some form or fashion. But I've been seeing a lot of friends on Twitter, people, who've had it and just commenting on it. It's wild to me. It's really, really funny, and just kind of amazing to see the power that people have, even with something as silly as this, how much, a very dedicated group of people can go and seriously fuck some shit up. So it's kind of been amusing to sit back and watch. Hopefully, if you're out there and you're listening, you haven't tied up too much money or have lost too much money in the process this week. But I'm sure there's plenty of people who are listening who have had a pretty hectic week as far as keeping their eyes close to what's going on. So. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens going forth, because I'm sure there are going to be plenty of people who are ready to fight for the fact that that people like Robinhood interfered with the ability to buy and sell and help manipulate it. I don't really have too much to say on this. This is definitely not an area of expertise for me by any means, and also just not something I'm super invested in. But I feel like if I didn't talk about it this week, at least in some form, it would have been like the elephant in the room, and people would be like, how could you not talk about the only thing everybody's been paying attention? So there it is. There's the GameStop stock talk of the week. And GameStop wasn't the only stock involved in that. There was also AMC and some other very low valued stocks involved with that as well. So, but yeah, some news that I saw this week that I actually didn't realize was pretty cool. As of right now, you can go and play the Yakuza games on Game Pass. Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 all got remastered. So now those, with the addition of Yakuza 0 and Yakuza Kiwami 1 and Kiwami and Kiwami 2, it means that most, if not all, I think, but it's damn near most of all of the all of the main Yakuzas are available on Game Pass. We played Yakuza 0 last year during our Finally tour, and it was awesome. It was a lot of fun, very silly game. And we recently started playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, which was very, very much a Yakuza game from what I've been told from people who've played the other ones. The combat was a little different, but again, just filled with just ridiculousness in both the terms of storylines and even the main quest, all that. And we talked about it at length actually last week on the podcast. So if you want to know more of my thoughts on that, feel free to go listen to last week's. But just the fact that the entire series is on Game Pass is pretty awesome for people looking to get into it. I didn't know this, but the Yakuza series, I guess, was mostly a PlayStation title for a long time, for many years. So dating back to PS2, PS3, PS4, all that. So it's pretty cool to see them all coming to Game Pass. And honestly, now that I went back and checked at some of the Game Pass stuff coming out this month, the Game Pass games for this month, really, really cool. It's a big month for Game Pass in my mind. Control is come to Game Pass, which is a game that we will probably play this year. I've heard nothing but good things about. That's on there. Donut County got added to Game Pass this month. We've played that. It's a really, really dope. It's a really fun and silly game about creating holes, and it's kind of like, I've never played Katamari Damacy, but people kind of compare those two a little bit. You're essentially creating holes and trying to drop everything on the screen into the hole. Really cool. Outer Wilds, available on the Android version of Xbox Game Pass, which I didn't even realize was a thing. I knew that there was the PC and console versions of Game Pass, but apparently you can also do it via the cloud on mobile. So Outer Wilds, which is another game I've not played, but has received many, many awards. We gave it away during our huge giveaway Merry Cliffmas stream this year. That's available on Game Pass via the cloud. Another game that just dropped, Cyber Shadow, is out and available on Game Pass as well, from the makers, Yacht Club Games, the makers of Shovel Knight. And I haven't played that. I've heard really good reviews from both my friends Gerard, the completionist, and Dan, the VP, that the game is a lot of fun, but it's also pretty damn difficult. I would say that based on how much I liked Shovel Knight and how much I would, recommend that to anybody, I will probably be playing Cyber Shadow at some point, on stream and checking that out. And if you haven't played Shovel Knight, holy shit, go play Shovel Knight. It made my list for games. We had a whole segment near the end of 2020, where I listed a bunch of games that I thought were must-haves for the new consoles, and Shovel Knight was in an exclusive list, along with Terraria for games that, you know, regardless of what console you have, is worth picking up. It's just available on so many things. So, yeah, definitely go play Shovel Knight. If you've played Cyber Shadow already, let me know what you think of it and how much you're enjoying it and whether or not you'd recommend it. In addition to that, so in addition to those games, Control, Cyber Shadow, Donut County, Outer Wilds, The Medium also just released this month, just a couple days ago, on Series X and Series S for Game Pass. I haven't seen much gameplay on that. I think my buddy DJ Cliche Darkness is playing that and streaming that. Shoutouts to him. I haven't seen too much on it. It looks really cool. For those people who've seen my Halloween streams, you'd know that I'm not generally a fan of spooky shit. I'm a baby. I'm a big baby. And I get scared easily, and I get spooked easily. And I don't like it. It makes my heart rate increase. I feel like I get time taken off my life. Just not good. Although the game, from the small amount I have seen, looks dope. I'll probably try to go and watch some more gameplay on it this week and see what people think about it. But Control, Outer Wilds, Donut County, Cyber Shadow, the Yakuza games, The Medium. There's also a game called Desperados 3, which I'm not really sure what that is. I don't know anything about that. But just a huge slew of games coming to Game Pass. Just furthering my point that, you know, if you have Xbox, just get the Game Pass. One of the probably the best streaming deal, easily the best streaming deal, as far as like in the market. No, it doesn't come close at this point. So, shout outs to Microsoft for continuing to put out, you know, a solid lineup of games for their Game Pass. I think some of the ones leaving this month too. Death Square, as I'm reading this off here, Death Square, Death's Gambit, Final Fantasy 15. I assume some people probably not happy about that. Fishing SimWorld, Gris, Indivisible. Those two solid games as well. I think we played Indivisible at launch, and it was okay. It didn't really hook me, but seemed like a solid enough game. Rain, Game of Thrones, and Sea Salt also leaving. But man, some bangers getting added to there. That's it for gaming news for us for this week. We talked a little bit about Yakuza 3, 4, and 5 coming to console, and obviously, you know that we've played Like a Dragon. Well, this week, we actually stopped playing Like a Dragon. And as much fun as I was having with that, I just realized we had to stop. I had an opportunity in front of me earlier this week to join a roleplay server for Rust, which is a game I'd never played before. But the server itself seemed like it would be really cool. There's a few of my friends on there. People who I've played games with and have been friends with for years now, as well as some other streamers who I know of by name, but maybe have never like played games with, and then like a whole bunch of actors. And it just seemed like a really cool opportunity. I've kind of been slacking on playing games with friends the past couple months. You know, I've been doing other things. A lot of, you know, we kind of had our own stuff going on stream and lots of shit going on at home, dealing with that, and just kind of haven't had time to interact with, you know, large groups, you know, groups of my friends and stuff. And so I felt like it was important to do that and, you know, make sure to carve out time for, the server was something I had known about. And I was like, you know, it seems cool, but I'm not gonna, you know, I've never played. I don't know. This might not be for me. And one of those things where I was just going to kind of let it pass up. And, you know, I said, no, you know, it's for me, it's important that we carve out time for this. So decided to do it, started up Rust. It's a role play server. So you have to have a character and, you know, create a character, be in character, which I'm all for. That's something that sounded like it was a lot of fun to me. And it has been extremely fun so far. And something I've never done before. I've never done a role play server. But yeah, so I'm on the Nerd Gumbo server, which is run by Felicia Day and Vince. I'm not sure if it's pronounced Casso or Queso, who are both actors on The Guild, which is a show. It was like a mini series that I remember watching, you know, many years ago on the Xbox 360. I vividly remember, you know. It was awesome. It was just like a whole show focused. I feel the game they were playing was like a parody play off of like World of Warcraft, but it was a really awesome show. And I don't know. It's really weird it's wild to like, you know, be in the same kind of gaming space with them. And I don't know, it's really fucking cool. Yeah, everything's been the playing it has been super addicting. I got to playing it the first night. Initially going in, I was like, you know what? We'll play Rust the first night, and then maybe I'll play a little off stream. Maybe we'll switch it in instead of Yakuza Like a Dragon here or there. And after playing day one, I had so much fun playing day one that instantly I knew like this is not going to work. Like there's no way I'm going to be able to play and enjoy both Rust and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, I'm going to be short-sighting myself on both of these experiences. And so with the fact that, the Rust thing, it being a multiplayer thing, it's definitely more like of the moment. I felt like that's where I could always come back to Like a Dragon. I have it. We can come back to it pretty much at any point. So that's what I decided to do. I think I made the right call. This whole week on our night streams, I've gone over 3, 4, 5 hours every night. It's been so much fun and so addicting. I'm having a lot of fun playing my character, William Wesley Shoregood, also known as Wee Wee Shoregood, whose whole thing is that he's a cook and he does barbecue. And my idea was that, I would create a food truck and drive around the island and try to sell stuff, which I thought would be funny in itself, but also like a cool way to try to like interact with other people, other streamers, other actors, the people, just everybody on the server, and a cool way to like kick that off. And so I've been doing that. I got the food truck up and off the ground, rolling around, made a couple sales. Wee Wee's business starting to take off. Shoregood Barbecue starting to take off a little bit. Also playing directly in a group with Jaku and Graham Pooh Bear, two longtime friends now of mine. And shout outs to Pooh Man for making this a known thing, and also like getting me involved. So major shout outs to Pooh. This has been so much fun so far. And also Kate Stark, who's just Kate on Twitch, and Fant, who are two people that I know of. And I know that they've done a lot of stuff with Pooh through like Fall Mania, but I haven't had a chance to game with or play with recently. They kind of, those two, and I feel like a few other people kind of got into the mix on we had a top secret Discord that we had a bunch of like Mario Maker people who would get in together and play games. And it extended beyond Mario Maker homies. There were like other, Twitch friends who were in there. But a couple months back, that group kind of expanded, and we got more people in playing Among Us and a bunch of other stuff. And I just haven't had the opportunity to get involved and play games. So excited to get to play with them more and get to know them a bit better. What we've already, the experiences we've already shared this week have been really, really ridiculous and fun. There's many good clips so far. There's actually on, I forget what day it was. This whole week has been a blur. But there was a day this week where my day was, I was going through some family shit, like right before stream, really, really, really rough. And I ended up getting on, and I don't know what happened, but like the server, it's so, for those of you who don't know, like in Rust, you can pretty much just go up and kill somebody at any time. Like you can just go and like fuck them up. But with the roleplay server, they don't allow that. It's not a thing you can do. I mean, you can, but you'll, end up getting kicked out. You keep doing stuff like that. But so like the server is still relatively new, even though I just joined it. They haven't been on it long. And everybody's kind of just been cool and setting up their own stuff, and nobody's really been starting, killing people and like doing that kind of stuff. Now, mind you, you can kill people in there. It's just that you can't. You've got to have like a reason for it. The whole reason for the server, it's kind of built around content creation, so people are trying to have storylines and stuff go on. Well, I was having a shitty day, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to stream or do my stream for the full length. Whatever was going to happen, I ended up getting on, and I don't even remember how it started, but like Jaku ended up shooting me, and I was extremely like just kind of like taken back, like, wait, what's going on? And then there was a situation where Kate had me cornered underneath the house and had her gun pointed at me, and I didn't really understand what was going on. And my mic had cut out, and I was trying to tell her that I thought I had accidentally or potentially, I guess is the word I used, messed up her organization of the boxes. And if anybody's played a game with crafting and survival like Ark or Minecraft or anything, you know that there's a, things can get real disorganized real quick. And so I said I thought I had potentially messed things up. Well, my mic cut out, and she thought I said intentionally, and I was not long for the world after that. But as funny as that was, like, that alone, like, that little interaction, that little experience with friends, man, like, that boosted my mood so much. It, like, completely flipped my day, like everything around. So shout outs to our group of friends that are, in the little, I don't know what you call it, commune or our fort. Appreciate y'all. Y'all really turned my day around that morning. But even outside of that, there's, a lot more shenanigans. We have a brand new, some YouTube exclusive content coming out from day one, where me and Jaku ended up going into a cave, and there was a ridiculous back and forth of how that went down. So look forward to that. And that might be out even before this podcast is out. So if it is, I'll make sure to throw a card in here somewhere. Yeah, look forward to that. I'd like to bring more Rust content for you, because I think the stuff is really, really funny. And, our streams end up going a bit long, or have been going a bit long. Easily to get wrapped up in Rust for like 6-7 hours. But not the whole time is just like the interaction. So like in between people. So like, I'm sure there are plenty of times where like you'll miss, certain pieces of content. I'd like to put that out. So look forward to that. In addition to that, I mean, there was, what was it? I guess a couple days ago, it was like the last day I think I'd even played Rust this week, which would have been Thursday, I guess. I don't know if it was Wednesday. I think it was Thursday. But I got my food truck. We went on our first like trip around the entire island, and we're, trying to bring food to people. And I ended up getting stuck at one point. Fant and Kate had to helicopter me out some parts, which was ridiculous. And that was a lot of fun. And then after that, I didn't really know what I was doing. And I was like, well, maybe we'll end on time tonight. Well, sure enough, that didn't happen, because Jaku, with like an hour left of my stream, Jaku came up and was like, what's up? Wee, what are you doing? And he was like, well, I'm going to go cut some wood. And I was like, well, let's go do that together. And I knew that it wasn't just going to be us going together wood in the forest, because anything that I ever do with Jaku is never just something. So we did that. We found a cave, went through it, talked about some possible new business adventures. His character, Virgil Simpson, is a businessman by trade, and always looking for new ventures to get invested with. And so we were talking about some new business plans potentially. But after that, Jaku took me over to some sort of area where there was like a timed crate. I'm super new to Rust. Jaku's played before. Pooh's played before. They've been playing or have played many years ago. I know nothing about the game. I'm constantly learning, which is another really cool like part of what we're doing, and like for people watching, I think, because you could see the game being played from somebody who has no idea and somebody who's like really, really involved in understanding. But Jaku was taking me over to a spot to play or to check out this like time crate thing, and we rolled up and there were other people there, and I believe it was Nick Turvision or Nick Ervision. I forget the exact name, and Rico, I think their names are. Again, two people I haven't really don't really know too well or haven't interacted with much, but hopefully will more in the future. Our tribe seems to have a problem with Nick, who I think's name is Adam. It's all very confusing, but they were there. They were trying to open the crate, and as we opened the crate and as we rolled up, we realized that there was something going on. There was something larger happening. Those two were talking and saying like, "Oh man, oh shit, we're fucked now. We're fucked." And we didn't really understand what was going on, but we showed up, and apparently one of them had popped Felicia Day's pool in the game, and she wasn't happy about that. But she had the ability to like fly around and like put herself into God mode, and can spawn things in. Well, we ended up showing up and getting just kind of wrapped up with that. And there's a really, really funny clip that you can check on our Twitter at cliffyvg if you're not following on Twitter already, where we were rolling up and she kind of just like popped out of this fucking laptop like a zombie, and it was horrifying and also super surreal. And I don't know, I gotta say that like I've met through Twitch. I've met and played with a lot of people, you know, obviously who are larger than me in the gaming space and stuff. But it was probably like one of the first times that I was like, I got that like starstruck feeling a little bit. And I was like, oh shit, this is wild. And no, it was really cool. Like after that, like, well, it wasn't cool because I ended up fucking dying. They had tanks spawned in, and there was kind of like a process there for a minute where I was like, okay, I need to go get all my stuff and make sure I don't die here. But it was cool. We ended up doing like messing around with like snowball guns and I don't know. It was just wild. The insanity ensued and continued for the next, I don't know, hour and a half, maybe a little bit longer. And it was just really fun, man. And it was just really like a really wild experience that like I would not have thought that, you know, I didn't foresee any of this coming down the road. You know, in our streams and stuff. So again, it's just been a fucking blast. And like at the end of that, so that all happened in one stream. And then at the end of that, I had this idea that me and Jaku should duel, and that we would strip down butt naked. I would grab a pair of gloves and slap him with the gloves, or he would slap me, and we would just do pistols at noon in front of the base wall. Again, like all things that have to do with Jaku, that wasn't the end of it, and it quickly turned into, you know, the guns were like wonky. I hadn't used them before. I felt shorted on one of our duels, and I ended up going to get a rocket launcher, and I blew him up in part of like the front part of the like road in front of our base. And then he went back and forth, and like he went inside the base, and now we're like we're like running around our base, shooting at each other. And at the same time, I'm trying to be mindful because I don't want to destroy anything in the base, because everything in the base costs a lot of resources and time and energy to make, and I don't know how to do any of it. So like, if in my mind, I'm like, if I fuck anything up, I don't know how to help here. So there's one point where there's like a lot of shit on the roof, and I was like, you know what, maybe I don't shoot the rocket launcher right now at Jaku. Maybe I don't do that. And so I didn't. And there was something where like Jaku was in a helicopter, and I was like, okay, maybe don't take down the whole helicopter. And that was all fine and well until it got to a point where I think I was hiding underneath part of where our garage was. And Jaku came around one way. I was trying to fake him out. I knew that he was trying to come from around the other way, and that he thought I would be going out some other way. So what I did was I turned around and waited for him to come. I started shooting at him, but he hid behind some pylons. And unfortunately, and I don't know if I put this clip out. I know I put it in the Discord of the server. But I ended up shooting and unfortunately hitting the pylons. And unfortunately, the car above ended up coming down and crushing Jaku, which was funny. But the worst part is that the truck was like on a lift, which is another piece of thing that costs. It's another thing in game that just costs a lot of resources and time to make. And I guess that ended up getting destroyed. And, you know, after Kate murdering me over possible, messing up organization, I was like, that's it. Like, I'm getting voted off the island. I'm not going to be, Wee-Wee's going to have to get, excommunicated from this group. He's not going to, Wee-Wee's going to be living in a cave essentially after this. And then after that, something weird happened with the server, and like we got kicked out and weren't able to fix it. So I was like, yeah, I may have to find a new part of the forest to roam and figure out this game on my own. But, I let Kate note about it, and she was like, no, that's not that big of a deal. It's fine. Pooh was less than pleased, but, yeah, I don't know. It's been so much fun, man. It's been a blast. Again, I'd never played Rust prior to this week, and I've just gotten completely sucked in. They're doing new stuff and adding new stuff to the server. Cool stuff. I think they just added today, like the ability to reskin stuff, and just lots of cool new things. I think there's something with the RF transmitter, which we were using to open our gate. Which there was another, that was probably our first clip of Rust that I put on there. I also ended up throwing that on our TikTok, which was my first TikTok post in a hot minute. But apparently there's a thing where you can use this like little radio transmitter. Apparently there's a way to control that outside of the game. like from my phone in real life. So like I could be like, I wouldn't even like, I could be logged off. I could be, just chilling on my couch, whatever, and mess with something on my phone, and it would make something happen on the server. And that to me is just wild. And when I heard that earlier today, I was like, well, it was already consuming my stream life, and it appears that it's going to be consuming other aspects of my life as well. So we'll see, man. But it's just been a lot of fun. Shout outs to Felicia and Vince for doing an excellent job with the server, and making a really fun experience. Shout outs to Pooh for getting me involved. Everybody out there has been super nice, super funny so far. And yeah, I don't know. There's it looks like it's just going to continue to be really, really fun and a really good time. And I'm looking forward to more ridiculous interactions and more shenanigans. Anytime, listen, if you're going to tune in at nights to watch, we've been playing at nights too. If you're tuning in at nights to watch, if me and Jakku are ever together, stick around. Stick around for a little bit, because we're either in the middle of some shit or we're gonna be in some shit. It's just like this weird, like, me and Jakku have such like weird, like Rick and Morty, like Doc and Marty type vibes. I don't know what it is about us that like there's something that like we feed off of each other in this really weird way, to where it's like we just get into shit, and I don't know how or why. It's not like we ever plan on it happening. It just does happen. So, yeah. Shout outs to Jakku for being my partner in crime. Yeah, and with that, I don't know. That's kind of been our week. We're still playing Skyrim in the mornings, doing our modded run, with Eggplant Sing Song, the Orc, the Bard. That's been a lot of fun. But honestly, Rust has, for me, kind of just overshadowed everything at this point. And I'm still having fun with Skyrim, and we're still going to keep doing that. It's just a different kind of fun. And, last week, I think I talked a little bit about it, where, like, it was, the difference in Skyrim and Yakuza was that Skyrim, I had to kind of make my own fun, through a light bit of role-playing, whereas Yakuza kind of just brought the silly. Well, Rust has taken that tenfold. Rust has taken what Skyrim, the fun of Skyrim I was getting out of Skyrim, and has just kind of amplified that by like not even tenfold, like 1,000-fold. So, and to be able to do it with other people and stuff, and it's just been great. So, I don't know. Look forward to more if you're enjoying our Skyrim run, and look forward to more of that in our morning streams, and much more of Rust this upcoming week. The other thing I will mention, which I'm not going to lie, I'm a little hesitant to mention, before we get into our questions of the week that were sent in from people like you. I have an announcement, which my heart is beating right now just even thinking about this. I almost didn't want to even talk about it, because I'm very superstitious, and I'm I don't want to jinx anything. So I haven't talked about it on social media or anything yet. You all will be the first to hear if you're watching on YouTube. But for those of you who don't know, I've been looking to try to get out of my house, and find a new place to live for the past, 8 months, 9 months. Home life has not been very good. That's a huge understatement. I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's been really rough. Me and Ike ended up going to look at a place this week, and the turnaround, we looked at it one day. I dropped the app off the next day and was talking with the landlord, and things kind of progressed really quickly. And as of right now, as I record this is Saturday night, which is another reason why this podcast wasn't recorded on our normally on our Friday streams. There's no Twitch chat here right now. There's nobody here right now. Nobody to help Google things for me. But this week is the end of this week. The past 24 hours really have been wild. But at this point, we've agreed to terms with the landlord, and we are set to sign a lease on Monday and move into a new place. So I can't tell you how much of a relief that is, how much of a weight off my chest that is. It's unbelievable. I'm like, to me, I'm trying not to. It still hasn't. It's kind of surreal and hasn't hit me yet, and it's almost because I don't want to. We've been through it the past several months where things came close to me getting it, and then we didn't get it and whatnot, and so I'm really just trying not to. But like I said, things seem pretty solid. We are set to sign the lease and drop off the money and do all the stuff. Monday at 11. Monday at noon. Yeah, very, very fucking exciting. And I'll celebrate more once the ink is actually on the paper, and I will pop off for sure. It'll be a celebration for fucking sure. But yeah, I wanted to share that with the podcast. I felt like, again, I was hesitant because I'm a little bit superstitious, but let's just say this. I'm supposed to go sign this paper. Supposed to go sign this lease 1 hour after this video drops. So I'll just say this. If me being super superstitious, super duper stitious, if this doesn't happen, if something falls through because I talked about it on this motherfucking podcast, I don't want anybody to ever call me like, don't tell me, don't be superstitious, don't be this. If this shit falls through because I talked about it 1 hour, we released a video with it publicly 1 hour before I'm supposed to go do it, I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna go invest. I'm gonna go buy stocks in Lucky Rabbit's Foot or Lucky Charms, General Mills. I'll fucking buy up all the General Mills stock this week. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen and things go good. And if it does, you'll know about it. That's for fucking sure. You will know about it. But just super excited, man. I can't. If you only knew the extent of how bad things have been, yeah. It's a huge weight being lifted off. And I'm excited too because, I haven't seen, with COVID shutting the world down, I haven't seen Ike in many months. The fact that we're going to be living together and able to play games and just chill out and, everything. It's just a really exciting time and a time that has been a long time coming. And I'm very, very much looking forward to it. And it's going to be a big change, a huge change in my life. So bear with me as I go through it and try to get stuff, got to move things over to this new place, figure things out with my son and all that. And, try to get everything, internet set up at the new place and just all sorts of shit, obviously. Big changes, big time. So, but overall should be good, make for a better mental health and a better living situation for both me and my son and just all parties involved. So yeah. You got it. You got the news, YouTube. You got it first. Let's get into our question of the week. Sent in from Klaus. Klaus 1289 here. You said you are okay with discussing more serious things on the podcast than you do on stream. A lot of streamers wouldn't be open to even doing that. Have the recent events in the past few months and years, particularly with some of the toxic culture surrounding Twitch, made you more willing to be open about your opinions, and do you wish more people in the streaming community would be willing to do the same? So shout out to Klaus, thank you for the question. I guess where the question goes to, the first part of that question is, have the recent events and particularly with the toxic culture surrounding Twitch made me more willing to open my opinions? I don't think the fact that things have been... I feel like the internet has been a Wild West since its inception. You know what I mean? The toxicity has always been there. I don't think that's a new thing. And I wouldn't say that encourages me to be more open. I think it's important. I think to that aspect, there are large communities on Twitch and just in general that are known for, not having rules or there are just a lot of toxicity. And so... for several reasons, I feel like it's important. For many reasons, I feel like it's important for me to let you all know where I stand on all sorts of issues when it comes to human rights, and whatever it may be, whatever the topic at hand may be. I feel like it's important to let you know where you're investing your time and the people you're supporting, and maybe you just like the dick jokes and the stupid shit that I do, and you could give less of a fuck about what I believe in, and that's completely fine. That's not a big deal to me. I don't expect that out of everybody. But a big thing with me is transparency, and I want to be more transparent with my community, and I think that's really where a lot of that stems from and why I want to be honest and open with all of you. I believe in standing up for what you believe in, and putting, your money where your mouth is and all the other isms that you could throw at that. And I have nothing to hide, and I have I think it's really, I think there's a lot of the negativity gets a lot of press. It sticks with people a bit more. And yeah, I do hope that, me talking out about certain issues makes other people more comfortable talking about it. When you ask about whether or not I want more people in the streaming community, do I wish they would do the same? The thing is, everybody's lives are so different, and you can only ever know what somebody's going through. It's really hard to know what people are going through with their own selves. Like I see a lot of people casting judgment with everything that's been going on this year, or talking about people being silent on certain issues and stuff. And while yes, you do wish that, the people that you follow and you support, you wish they would speak out against injustice. There's also times, man, where people, you don't know what the fuck is going on in their lives, and maybe they can't be on it at that moment in time, right? Or maybe it's not an immediate thing. The biggest thing is that, I would ask that, I would expect out of people if, to denounce hate and bigotry and all that. But it can definitely be hard because, again, you don't know. I'm not going to sit here and press my friends' feet to the fire on every issue because, everybody's going through their own personal battles. It's fucking hard and on top of that, like, just being able to be open is really fucking hard. Like, I'll tell you from, like, my own experience, like, it's a lot to get into. Like, we went into the Pepe the Frog shit last week on the podcast, and that was a whole fucking thing that took a piece of me and took time and effort to research and know what I'm talking about and trying to kind of get my head wrapped around it and express my thoughts. Like, it's a very involved thing, and it's not easy to do. If it were easy to do, I feel like everybody would do it. Like, I don't think there's a reason you wouldn't. So, yeah, I do wish people would speak out more, but, like, I understand that, like, that it's not always going to happen. I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty good sense of judgment and character. I've been wrong a couple times. There have been a few times I've been wrong since my time on Twitch and people I've interacted with. But very few times have I been burned in that regards. Most of the people who I follow and support, I know are well-intentioned people and stand for the right things. But I will say that I think being vocal about it, when you have a platform, when you have an audience, helps, and it helps other people feel more comfortable to do it. You'll notice that, like, there's been plenty of instances where, like, one person, maybe it's not being talked about, and then one person does it, and then another person does it, and now it's like a floodgate, and then everybody starts being more comfortable, talking about things. I feel like that happens very often, and not even just in Twitch, just in many facets. So, yeah. I mean, if you're out there listening, if you're, a peer of mine, somebody who's streaming on Twitch, yeah, for, like, absolutely advocate for, you speaking your piece and making your intentions well known. But at the same time, again, I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody for not day one being on the, like, where were you for this, that, and the other. Just people have a lot of shit going on in their life, especially this past year too, with 2020 and stuff. It feels like, it's wild because it feels like as I know what I've been through, and I know the personal hell I've been through, but it feels like everybody has their own version of that. And, it's been a really rough year for all of us. Yeah. I hope that answered your question well enough, Klaus, and thank you for asking it. We've had a couple hard-hitting questions this past few weeks. I'm always open to answering whatever, but give me some sillier shit this week. I was trying to lean into the whole RP that we've been doing between Wee Shoregood and Eggplant Sing Song. If you're listening to this podcast, either go back and watch some of our odds, or come and tune in this week for more Rust roleplay, and see if you can get a question. Let's lengthen the lore. Let's deepen the lore and the meta. Let's get some questions for Wee Shoregood this week or next week on the podcast, or some questions for Eggplant Sing Song, the orc bard. I know they would be more than happy to answer your questions. So, yeah, other than that kind of wraps it up for us for this week. So, thank you for listening. This is our first podcast that I've recorded offline, and I don't know. I hope you enjoy it. And again, just thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day and have a great week. And I'll see you on streams this week for more Rust and Skyrim. Adios.